GK Nation, what is going down? What is going down? It is the Great Gunny. I'm out here doing my thing at the Spokane Lilac City Comicon. It's day 2, and we're doing our thing. So I got my main man, Steve, here, and he used to have a podcast. They used to talk about the good old things like comic books. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, well, not tell himself, but tell you about himself, and we're gonna run it.
Hey, my name is Steve Soltys. I'm originally from California, Bay Area. We used to do a podcast down there in Black Cat Comics was the name of the store. We was just 3 of us talking, having a good time, bringing up what comic books we like, what movies are out. We mainly spoke about the good old times of comic books, the 70s, some of the 80s, and then we would compare them with the modern day comics and the movies, mostly that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's see here. What is your favorite comic book character? That's a tough one. I'm sure no one can just put a finger on it. I think for me, it's a matter of how I'm feeling that day. But if you were to twist my arm, it would be between Punisher, Captain America, and Iron Fist.
Okay, so we talking Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, well, Batman is in there too, but you know what? I got to go with the Marvel boys over Batman. Okay, see, I'm a DC guy. Yeah. You know, but what I'd say is that Nightwing is my favorite character. Nightwing?
Yeah, good old Dick Grayson.
Yeah, I love Nightwing. I think his character, same thing, just came out of the blue, wow, that's Batman always what he wanted to be, in the sense of like a good guy in a way. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know,
not jaded.
Not jaded. Thank you. Yeah, that's where. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Batman. Good old Bruce. He got issues.
Yeah.
I mean, Dick got issues too. But Dick put other things. He used other things outside of crime to combat his issues.
Yeah, I think because Bruce Wayne never had anyone to guide him. Exactly. Where Dick had someone to guide him, so he wasn't as jaded. He was able to look at things at a more positive point of view than Batman.
That's something Bruce wanted for him. He didn't want him to run down that road, which Dick kind of fell down that rabbit hole anyways.
It's a twisted road. So.
Okay, so we'll break it in. What is it about the Punisher that draws you to him?
The Punisher, as a kid, I was watching. I'm 52. Okay. So I grew up watching Death Wish with Charles Bronson. Okay. So
hey, I know.
In the 70s, for some reason, that just clicked. So when the Punisher came out, I already knew what that kind of life was. Okay. As I got older, I became a father myself. Okay. So then I could relate on a more personal level with the Punisher, and I could see how that would drive someone to do what he did. Okay. Yeah. So that's my biggest thing with the Punisher. Mainly, again, if I was a father in that situation, I could not see me doing what he did.
Yeah. Frank is on a whole different level of justice.
The way I look at it, though, also is sometimes they write the Punisher a little too psychotic. I don't think he ever was psychotic. I think he figured out I'm the only one that can do what others can't do. And that may be psychotic, but I don't think it is.
Well, they try to write him within the times. Yeah. Frank, I would never say Frank was psychotic. I would say Frank was a psychopath. Something in Frank snapped. Yeah. And, you would say Frank is what Bruce would have been if he would have made it to his teen years before he lost his parents.
Or didn't have Alfred to reel him in. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
No. With the Punisher, like I said, it just depends who writes him. Mike Zeck was my favorite artist because when the Punisher punished, he didn't punish out of joy. He punished out of, he had to do it that way. Right. And sometimes down the road, some of the artists and writers would let him get a little too, he would enjoy it.
That was towards the mid-'80s. Yeah. Mid-'80s, early '90s. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I just see him saying, hey, this is it. I gotta get you. And that's it. Right. And he'd move on.
Yeah, but Frank was shooting people who was littering and running red lights.
Yeah.
I mean, he was taking it to a little bit of the extreme. He went a little too far.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. He got someone jaywalking one time.
Yeah.
I don't remember, some weird storyline. Yeah, but I can see his point. So
I mean, Frank was on that. So let's, from one spectrum of a military man to the other, let's talk about Captain America.
So Captain America was the first superhero I ever read comics on. I was like 7 or 8. And as a kid, I just, something about his innocence, something about his black and white, this is the way things should be done. There was no gray for him. My father was a military guy, so I was raised, saluting the flag, pride, everybody's equal. Again, coming from California.
Right.
Again, at that time, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. If you want to talk about colorblind, we were colorblind. We never knew anything about that guy is this race and that guy that. They were just friends. And that's,
right.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
So growing up as, that was like a big thing. Captain America struck me on that level.
Yeah, oh man, Cap at one point was the man for me, but as a Marine, dealing with a guy that was in the Army, it's got a little bit, but I love me some Cap. Cap does his thing, especially the movies.
Yeah.
So between those two, which one do you like how they were portrayed the most on screen?
It's the first Avenger, Captain America, first Avenger.
Okay.
I think by far they nailed every aspect of Captain America's character.
Okay.
I watched that movie and I say someone did their homework. And when they did their homework, they didn't stray from the path.
No, that's Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige don't be playing when it comes to his movies.
Yeah. I love the whole concept of that one.
Okay.
That was great. It was one of my favorite movies, and it's one of my favorite of all the Marvel hero movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about the Punisher TV show?
No.
You didn't like it?
No. I'll give you real quick.
Okay.
When he was in Daredevil, I thought that was perfect because they showed him and his family. They showed, this is what happened. He was in the cemetery. That's one of the best scenes. He was in the cemetery crying over it. I was like, this is awesome. They nailed it. But when they made the TV series, and this is my pet peeve, is when they change origins. When they change the origin of a character, to me, that changes everything of a person.
That's kind of hypocritical because comic books change origins every 6 years.
Right.
So if you come from the 70s of the Punisher to the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, they continue to change it. He still loses his family. He just loses his family in a different manner.
But that changes people, though. So let me just.
I'm not sure. I mean, he still lost his family through a gang fight that they shouldn't have been at. They die at a carnival?
No. So okay, here we go. This is why it's gonna change. Me and my lady over there, we're walking in the park with our kids, mind our own business, right? Mind our own business, and then we just happen to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Has nothing to do personally with me, her, or my kids, and we get wiped out. That has to drive someone, like you're saying, breaks, it snaps.
Right.
In the TV show, the Netflix, he was part of a hit group in the military.
Right.
And they went after him and his family because of something he did. And see, there's a difference. What he did caused the problem of the death of his family.
Or his job.
But he still caused the problem.
No, I don't see him as causing his job.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's because I was in the military.
Yeah.
And that's my job. But crime is crime. But if you kill my family, regardless of whether the thing is, that's like Spawn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So let me continue on that one. So the two differences, Frank Castle in the 70s, he saw all of crime. This is never going to happen to anybody's family again, blah, 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 blah. I'm taking them all out. In the Netflix version, when he wipes out the people who killed his family, that's it. It should have been done because those were the military guys who killed his family. It wasn't the thugs, the mafia. It wasn't the rapists or the murderers. It was those guys. So when that was over, his debt would have been paid.
No, it was crime.
No, it wasn't crime.
It's crime.
It was crime against him because of something he had done.
Right, but there were other people that got killed outside of his family.
That
whole place got killed.
But what I'm saying is he should. So that's why I like the Daredevil version.
Well, it's the same version.
But when what happened was, see, this is where it left off. So when in the last episode of the Daredevil version, he went back home, burned down his house, got the disc that said Microchip. We know who Microchip is. That was his buddy. And he had his outfit on, and he was ready to go. He right then and there made up his mind. I am taking out crime, everybody. But the thing is, when they did the Netflix version, it kind of backtracked on it, and now he's wiping out, or he's killing people in his military that went after him. So had that not happened, his family would have never died.
No, I don't think that's true. I just think that they use that as the scenario. But as with comic books, you got to have a focal point. You got to have a focal point. Because...
Are you a father?
Yes, I'm a father.
You're
10 kids.
I know. So here's the difference. Again, you and your daughter just leaving right now. And God forbid anything would happen. If you would go, like I said, and you would track down who did that.
Right.
And then, see, that's why I'm saying what the difference between the Punisher was. The Punisher, after killing who he had to kill, he said, I'm the only one that could do this. That's how, like you said, he snapped. I'm the only one going to do it. I'm going to go out because obviously the guilty doesn't get punished. Justice isn't served. I'm the only one that could take care of business. He goes out and kills all, he goes after the bad guys.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, you and me talking right now, and I cause you and I to get in a big argument. But then I decide, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take him out. I'm going to take him out when he leaves. But there's a big difference. Now you have a more centered focus on me, so you take me out and it's over.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. But you're gonna think. But you're gonna think to yourself, did I say something to Steve that might have pissed him off? Maybe is it my fault that he came after me and my daughter now? And that's what I'm saying.
I can hear you. Yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah. But in the mind, and I guess I hate doing this because we're on the radio. But my job in the military, I used to give people their due. Yeah. So my thought process is, and it's the same thing with Frank, because Frank's family got killed by the mafia. Yeah.
But minding his own business.
Okay, but check this out. Yeah. But by the way you look at it, if Frank got rid of the mafia, he should be done.
I got to answer that question.
But he didn't. Frank started going after petty theft, the shoplifters. He even tried to kill Spider-Man for no reason whatsoever.
Well, it is Jonah Jameson. I don't know.
No, he tried to kill Spider-Man for no. And if it wasn't for Nick Fury, Nick Fury stopped him. It wouldn't have been. Yeah, there would be no Spider-Man.
Okay, let me go down. So, yes, here's how I would have thought. He wipes out who should have been done.
Right.
He turns the gun on himself, which in the books he did. He was ready to, like, this is it. I did what I had to do. And I'm going to go meet my family. At that moment, he backed off and realized, no, I can't, because it's an insult to my family, basically, so I'm going to go do what I can do.
Right. And you know why I see that? Because that's a Vietnam era mindset.
Yeah. And you remember, I go back to that day.
I get you. So, my dad served in Vietnam. And I'm only a couple of years younger than you. I'm like maybe 2 years younger. I'm almost 50.
Right.
So that's that Vietnam mindset, Vietnam mindset. So, but where we're going to go with this is that I see that you have that, but then how is he going to grow?
Here we go.
Because Punisher has grown.
I know.
Through all of that, but he won't grow if you cut that.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you 2 good examples. One, it's always about the writing. Who's writing it?
Of course.
It's always about the writing. So therefore, like I said, he's going after jaywalker. He's going after people that spit on the street. The backstory to one of those is that when he was in prison, someone fed him some mind drugs and he went nuts. That was one of the storylines. Second, it's always about the times, like you said. With the Netflix series, I believe they wrote it that way because they didn't want to upset a certain group of people. They PC'd it. So they picked the military as an unfaced villain. So had they gone for, let's say, again, if he went down his old road and said, okay, I'm going to start wiping out gang members, I'm going to start wiping out these. So now we're talking about people writing in saying, oh my God, he's profiling, he's picking on these people. So I believe that's why Netflix went down that road. they said, let's give him an enemy, but let's give him a faceless enemy.
They took his second movie. The second Punisher movie. That's what they did. It was,
and that's what I think happened. So in answer to, or reply to yours, yes, in the days of today where they have to be very specific and careful about they don't hurt or insult or walk on someone, they have to pick the right enemy. 70s, 80s, no one cared about that.
But there was a filter. There wasn't a filter like there is now.
Yes.
But again, after Frank went to jail, he decided, I'm going to get all crime. So,
well, that's what I think. Because in jail, while he was in the chow line, they kept feeding him some.
No, I'm talking about in the show.
Oh, yeah.
On the show. That's what I'm talking about. The show. I'm not talking about.
Well, in the very end, that's why I liked in the last episode of that one. They showed him in a car or something across the street from a warehouse, and in that warehouse was a bunch of thugs and gang members. Then I was like, awesome, okay. But they never followed up with it after that.
Well, I can say this because a lot of people don't know. Is the Punisher was in all the Captain America movies.
That's what they like to say, but I haven't seen him. Every time I watch it,
I'm just trying to tell you, he was Nick Fury's white truck.
That's what they say, but I don't know. I don't know.
Kevin Feige said it.
Did he?
Yeah, Kevin Feige said it. Yes, he said that.
Well, if he said it, then I'll believe
I wouldn't say it if he didn't say it.
If you say it, I
Kevin
believe
Feige said it. He's been there. Even Sam Jackson said it. You know.
But they can't say it though because they didn't own the rights. I mean, they couldn't say Frank Castle.
No, he owned the rights.
Did he? Did they own the rights?
Yeah, they own the rights. They've always owned the rights to the Punisher.
Okay.
So all I say is, I gotta wrap it up. Unfortunately, we gotta wrap it up. But it was cool.
Yeah.
We'll try and get you back here.
I'd love to be back.
And we'll pick out some subjects and stuff.
Awesome.
But so the GK Knights know, you're not doing no podcasts anymore, are you?
No. I moved up here 5 years ago, and the only podcast I do is with myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
in the mirror.
We will find a way to get you back on the show. So GK Knights, we gonna take a short little break, and then the Great Gunny will be back here. So until then, peace out and stay kid.